This week, we've had the news we've been waiting for, that from the 4th of July, our churches can open again for what we call collective worship, for the celebration of Mass, for the celebration of funeral masses, and for weddings, and other sacraments as well, including the sacrament of reconciliation, confession. It's a very, very important next step on our being able to take up again the practice of our faith. But we must do it with care, we must do it safely, we must, as it were, be confident that in coming to church, we're not taking any undue risk. Now, there are three things I'd like to say at this moment. The first is this: we are not going back to normal. We're not going back to what we knew before March. We have to think this through differently, and that's everybody. So there's no going back and saying, oh right, I always go to 10:30 Mass, I'll go to 10:30 Mass this morning, we'll go as a family, the parish will be just where it was. No, we can't do that. We have to think this through afresh. There's going to be only a limited number of places in the church for each celebration of Mass. So we can't all fit in. And also, we're very, very clear that the obligation to attend Mass on a Sunday does not pertain in these circumstances. You have no duty to go to Mass on a Sunday. So please think of going to Mass during the week. Think of attending church on a weekday, celebrating the Mass, receiving Holy Communion, and leaving space for others. So please think about others as well as yourselves when you decide what to do in these coming weeks. Then there's a second thing which is really so important, and this is a real appeal from me. Parishes cannot take up these opportunities without the help of new volunteers. So please, I ask you, can you help your parish at this moment? A parish needs new volunteers, young people preferably, to come and act as stewards, guiding people in to sit in the right places, making sure the movement of people is well spaced, to help some of those responsibilities, to help with the cleaning routines that have to happen. Without your help, this cannot be done. And you know what we've learnt in these last weeks, these last months of lockdown, is how much we depend on each other. And that's true for us too. So please, please think about volunteering for your parish and helping with the tasks that now have to be fulfilled. And thirdly, we're going indoors together. Indoors is a place where there's a higher risk of this virus circulating. The amount of time that we spend indoors is a factor. So when you return to Mass, it'll be abbreviated, it'll be quicker. Things will be cut down to their essentials so that we can gather round the altar, celebrate the Word of God, take part in the sacrifice of the Mass, receive the body and blood of Christ in Holy Communion, and then leave. It's important that we focus on what is essential and make the Mass as focused and as, I hesitate to use the word quick, but as economical with time as it should be. So here we are, we're at a great moment in the course of this pandemic. We're not to be irresponsible like crowded beaches. We are to be very responsible. We can now go back to Mass. What a wonderful moment. And I'm sure you are all as glad as I am to embrace this from the 4th of July and the weeks ahead. So God bless you all. Please be generous in how you plan your visit to church, and please be generous in helping the parish to make this progress into something new that we don't yet fully understand, but it brings us close to the Lord again in the sacrifice of the Mass. Thanks be to God.